Okay.
Did it work this time?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
We are trying to be live again.
We are trying. We are attempting. Attempts are being made. So.
Can we tell though?
Well.
I don't see the clicker on.
What do you mean?
No, the.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. All right. Is there anybody out there watching this?
Not right now, no.
Well, sorry about the mess.
and what a mess it is.
Try going on your phone right now and seeing if you actually can see anything.
Give me a minute. I have to switch back to myself.
Do. It's always something, isn't it?
Somebody just commented on our live stream from last month. That's funny. Yep, here we are.
We are there?
We're here.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Okay, so we are back. Now the question is anyone actually seeing us?
Hi, Haley. Thank you for finding us again. Looks like we have solved our issue.
I hope so.
I'm hoping.
Facebook kind of like refused to broadcast it.
Yep. And so it's not fun when we can't broadcast to all the places we're trying to broadcast to, especially since people watch us on multiple different spaces.
So hopefully people are
hoping that this did not just completely mess with us for the evening.
Yes.
But
how can we tell who's on Facebook here, who's not here?
Well, we have to honestly wait for people to comment. But I'm seeing some more viewers trickling in. Hello.
They're all from YouTube though.
So far it seems, yes. So we do have a full list tonight. Yay, Virginia, confirmation from Facebook.
Yay! So Facebook, okay, we're back. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So sorry. We had
Facebook kind of like crossed us up.
Yep. It Facebook went, "Oh, were you trying to live stream?" No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. So thank you, Virginia, so that we know we're actually back on. So we can actually do what we're supposed to do. So welcome everybody. Happy solstice, blessed Yule, upcoming Merry Christmas, and all the other holidays that happen around this time, which there are plenty.
Oh, here, close up of my festive psychic earring. We got festive planchettes.
I just have my red and green Christmas business shirt that I went to work in today in.
And
so
I'm
yay.
Gonna not take my big coat off because I'm a cold person.
Alrighty, so we are here to do
songs of old. Nope.
Oh God,
wrong intro.
That's the wrong intro, exactly.
Sorry, we're not doing songs of old.
We're not doing song. This is not Mischief Managed, not tonight.
That's programmed very deeply.
Yes, indeed. So yes, we are here to do live stream readings, tarot card readings. We actually have got quite a full slate tonight. And hopefully we didn't just throw everybody off here.
Well, at least Godric, Haley, and Virginia have found us.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to basically mention the people who actually have already chimed in for a reading, one way or the other, whether they be on watching us from YouTube or on Facebook. We have we're going to start with the reading for Marianne Vancouver, who actually messaged us earlier and said that she's actually working tonight. So this is going to be done kind of in absentia. She actually told us the question that she wants, et cetera, et cetera. Andy Kudermosh, Jody Jenkins, Melanie McGonigal, Julie Adderson, Ali Diva, Joe Lacey, Stacy Pasner, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Jackie Knight, and Tina Marie or Mari. That's what we have here. Now, gotta be honest with you, most of them signed up last month.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly have no idea which ones are going to show up tonight, if any of them for that matter.
I do know that Virginia said if we had an opening, she would like to take it.
So.
And Annie is here, so that is excellent.
Excellent.
And Godric, in response to your question, not sure. It's white. This is Echo Del Monte, which my mother turned me on to. I'm not a white wine drinker. If I'm going to drink wine, it's typically red. But she turned me on to this one. I forget what actual type of white wine it is, though. I just remember the name. Yeah!
Yes, indeed. So, the basic ground rules for those of you who are watching us for the first time, or if you've seen this before, when it's your turn, and please be patient, we do a 3-card tarot reading. You get to basically ask us a question in the comments, or just basically say, I just want a general reading. Either or, pick the person who you would like to be the primary reader, or say both. And honestly, we both kind of chime in anyway, which is kind of the point. Mm-hmm. The deck that you would like to be read from, as always, we have our Dragon Tarot cards. Red also has the Swiss 11J deck, and I happen to have the Relationship Tarot of Sexual Magic deck for those who want to get into those.
I was gifted a new deck last month. I don't know if it's going to go into circulation. I still got to play around with it a little bit, but potentially. But a friend of mine at the end of last month gave me a Labyrinth deck.
Okay.
Jareth is the magician. Are you shocked? I wasn't.
No, not at all.
And Godric, Gin, you like to drink Pine Sol. I'm judging you a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So let us do Marianne first.
So also, yeah, but also mention that when it's your turn, give us a number between 1 and 78. That way we know which card in the deck to actually begin with. And if you guys who are actually watching us are would like to have a reading, we can definitely put you on the wait list, because as of right now, most of the people who actually signed up, I don't think are here.
No, but I'm not sure if it's because they didn't remember or if they got a little messed up with our technical snafu.
Yes, because I know that I saw that Joe originally was here, and then I'm not sure if Joe's actually back here. So
Joe I saw has been.
He commented, and then I responded basically said that we were back online again.
Yes. So cool. Also, just as a side note before we begin, please bear with us, not just for the technical stuff, but the Lord and I are just getting over a rather nasty bout of COVID. His first, my third. And I got to have COVID and strep throat. Again.
Yes, your second time now.
Yes.
Me, I am a COVID virgin no longer, unfortunately.
No. So we are a bit tired and a little brain foggy. So if we say words that don't make sense, do let us know.
All right. So before we begin here, anyone in the comments here who actually wants to get put on the wait list? I see.
I know Virginia had messaged me that she did.
Mary Sharkus is I see as well. Virginia.
Godric would like to be in the waiting room as well.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and Haley for over on YouTube there.
Okay.
And by the way, again, Haley, thank you so much for. Haley was there when we were like, "Excuse us," while we turned it off and
Jonah Bostwick as well. Because actually, we only do 10 readings a night. Because otherwise we'd be on for a very, very long time. But for those of you who have been with us before, the way everyone on a wait list, actually, every time we've done this, people, at least some people on the wait list, have gotten readings because those who signed up in advance don't show up, and therefore it's one of those first come first serve. When if you're here for your reading, great. If you don't show up, then we give it to somebody else. Anyway, so
Joe is commenting on the wrong stream.
Oh.
He's wearing the wrong wig.
What's he saying here?
He basically was going, I signed up because he did send us a message. I don't know if you responded to him ever.
No, I did.
But yeah, so he was saying, I signed, and then he goes, I guess you guys can't see my comments, and none of the things you're saying are making sense. I'm like, and so I just went and looked, and I was like, well, yes, that's last month's live stream.
Yes. Did you already respond to him?
Oh, here he is now. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe. He finally found the new one. Yes. Facebook kind of like completely effed up our original live stream. We literally had to get out of it and create a new one on the fly. That's why this mess. We got just literally as we went live, we got the error message saying that this thing wasn't being broadcast on Facebook through some stupid error on their end. So we had to literally just drop it,
turn it off, and turn it back on.
We had to turn it off and create a new one and get back on again. So anyway.
So now that we're all here.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the reading in absentia for Marianne Vancouver, since she is working right now. So she said she would watch the repeat of this later on.
Yes, we'll be nice and have her not have to wait.
So Marianne, she gave the number 14, and she basically wants to know what are her money opportunities coming up in 2024.
Ooh.
So I figure that's a good dragon one.
Yes.
And I already shuffled my dragon cards.
Oh, well, you're farther ahead than I am.
Yes. Well, dealing with this. Hey, money.
Surprise money. Ha, isn't that nice? We like surprise cash in the cards.
Yes.
Literally.
How about that? Hey, we're about to do a reading on money, and you basically.
And I opened up a box and went, oh, look, cash.
Hey, that's like your tarot cards out there. There's cash there. Hey, how about that? We like that.
Hi, Charles.
All right, so let me entertain you. Go ahead and flip it over to the cards, please.
Lifty dip.
And I think I have this right, or pretty darn close.
Sorry about the blurry. We can't. It doesn't have It doesn't have a manual focus, which is.
Also, we had to jury rig our little second camera thing tonight because the original thing that we use, our original stand, isn't here.
Excuse me, sound guys. Stop taking your equipment back.
Exactly. Anyway, what we have here, the Queen of Cups. We have the reverse Queen of Coins, excuse me. The reverse Four of Coins and the Four of Cups. Now, as you guys probably know, we read cards upside down. So when they're upside down like this, that essentially means it's an inverted card, which means the meaning may be a bit different from what we would normally say.
Oh, we're going to have the money and the emotions be linked.
So I want to... Jackie's here. So she found... Jackie's one of the ones who actually signed up for a reading before. So
excellent.
So anyway, I turn the card around to basically... so everyone can see the picture, but we talk about this thing as if it's upside down. So first off, Marianne's question was about money. What are the money opportunities beforehand?
Well, she's got 2 money cards on the table. Yep. Number 1, we like
coins
that.
Cards or the element for earth, and then the cups for element of water. 4s both represent ending of the phase, time to move on. The Queen of Coins also doubles for the zodiac sign of Taurus. And first off, and I don't think really Taurus really applies in this, but that first card says one very important thing to me: patience.
That is.
And the fact is that the queen is waiting for the little egg to hatch, and no, that's not her egg. So this isn't like the mama chicken sitting on the egg, waiting for giving it warmth to bring it to hatch. No.
This is a metaphor. This could be like the nest egg.
Exactly. The triscale is the jewel that the dragon wants, and the dragon basically has to wait for the egg to hatch, and it will hatch in its good, sweet time. So Marianne, that's the first thing for you. Patience. I mean, you're looking for money opportunities in 2024. So let's just basically say, don't expect, these massive, wonderful things to happen in come New Year's.
No, you have a whole journey. Especially there's a whole thing that I am seeing here.
Go for it.
Well, so we have the Four of Coins, which is the dragon lost in the woods. The dragon literally sitting on the forest floor going, help!
Mm-hmm.
I'm lost! And I feel like a lot of us are currently dealing with that in our own financial situations. Everything financial is just so fun these days. But moving into then the Four of Cups, we have 4 and 4. Again, the ending of a phase, the beginning of a new one. But 4 of Cups, emotional. So this is telling me that something that we have our heart set on is also linked to our finances.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
would you like to continue?
Well, I mean, the whole idea is that, what do they say? To make an omelet, you got to break some eggs.
Yes.
You've got to actually accept the fact of is that you can't. The status quo is going to have to alter. If you're
sorry.
It's hard for me to give an explanation when you keep coughing.
I'm sorry. COVID has destroyed my lungs.
Oh, tell me about it. Choose wisely. Because essentially, if you want to be successful, if you want to actually improve upon your finances, essentially for that success, for that saying yes to this, you're gonna have to say goodbye to something else.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. You basically you can't essentially run status quo in every part of your life and expect to have more money. That's just not going to happen.
Here's a list: money, health, sanity.
Mm-hmm.
Pick 2. But that's what life is. You can only pick 2.
Well, the idea behind this last card, the 4 of Cups, essentially is that the mama dragon there coming to feed the baby dragons. 4 again referring to ending of the phase here. Essentially is that if you want to really improve your finances, you have to basically kind of like let something else go. You can't basically be everything to everybody. If you want to focus on the finances, hey, fantastic, go for it. Go ahead and do that. No one's going to say no.
But you got to really sit down and think to yourself, whatever the thing is that's got to give, since it definitely has something to do with the heart, is that something that you're actually ready to let go of?
Do you want to give up on that? The upside down dragon lost in the woods basically saying is that when you actually realize that this is a bit more cumbersome than you actually thought, the things are going to be intertwined. So yes, if you want to make changes, you want to make some money opportunities, obviously, yes, be patient. And on the whole thing of this one being Taurus, literally, it would be about springtime. That would be the time when actually, if there's going to be some significant alterations, that's when they're going to come to fruition. And the whole point for you is that you have to realize that by doing such, you're going to have to basically sacrifice some stuff. If you're willing to make those sacrifices, go for it. I mean, ultimately, it's your choice. It's your free will. But that's what we got for that one.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so we are going to put that away. And then we are going to go back to our original list.
And I will just say for your future watching, Marianne, if you would like to ask us questions after you watch this, feel free to message us. We usually give people the opportunity to ask like a follow-up question or clarifying if necessary. So if you feel like you need that, do feel free to reach out.
Okay, so from our original list, who are here, Annie, so you're going to be up next.
I see Jackie.
Jackie is here, and Joe. So have we heard from Melanie McGonigal, Jody Jenkins, Julie Adderson, Ali Diva, Stacy Posner, or Tina Mari?
Not that I have seen in the comments.
I didn't think so.
If y'all are here and you just haven't made yourself known, just you can see us, we can't see you.
Exactly. So the idea is that we're going to do Annie, we're going to do Jackie, and we're going to do Joe. And then if our other people who had previously signed up don't chime in, we're going to move into our wait list.
It's going to be a very wait list heavy episode. If
absolutely, which I got no problem with. We
try to tell people it is your responsibility to come to get your reading if you sign up for one. And if you don't, oh well.
So since Joe and Jackie got knocked off and then had to find the new one, they may have missed some of the instructions in there. So the idea is that when it is your turn, ask your question.
Add Chelsea to the wait list.
Okay.
Please, she says.
Got it. Ask your question, or just basically say you just want a general reading. Give us a deck that you'd like it to be read from, or the Dragon deck, or Swiss 11J deck, or relationship deck. Ask which one of us you'd like to be the point person, the main person, even though we're both going to talk about it anyway. And then your number, between 1 and 78, so we know where to find the deck. So, Annie, you've been here before. You know the routine. But Jackie and Joe, you're in the on-deck circle, so to speak, so get ready.
Oh, and also, Annie, how are you feeling? Annie got COVID after we did.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so just also let me know, Annie. How you doing? How you feeling?
Is your deck shuffled?
It isn't. Would you like to shuffle it?
I will shuffle it. because she wants dragons and we just used my deck, so now it's your dragon deck's turn.
Woo! But yes, if people are interested in us potentially adding the Labyrinth deck to the roster, let us know. I'm still getting a feel for them a bit. Penelope gave me that at Haven last month.
Alrighty, dink, and dink. We reposition these. All right, go ahead and flip it, and I'll reposition a little bit more.
Oh yeah, long COVID symptoms suck.
Oh yeah, I was on the meds, and actually I felt worse for a while.
I'm not even allowed to be on the meds because apparently they interact with a bunch of other stuff I'm on.
Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
So for general,
I've seen sunny days that I thought could never end. Okay, so yeah, we got a pair of fire cards here.
yes.
4 of Wands, first one, and the last one is the 2 of Wands.
And Annie, remind us, just because brain fog here, just remind us what your sign is again.
And then the second one is the upside down inverted 6 of Cups. Fire and water don't necessarily mix now, do they? Depends on your point of view.
Well,
4, 6, 2, all even numbers.
seeing as how my sun sign is a fire and my moon sign is water. Yeah, no.
Flaming Jello shot. She's a Scorpio.
Love it.
I love that.
That is what he called them, didn't he? Good Lord.
Yeah.
All right,
that was
Annie.
terrible.
So, when, just as a thought here, when are you going to take action? And I'm not saying this in a judgmental way, but we've had a lot of very similar looking stuff with you. And one of the major things that I'm seeing here is that you still don't have a support system that is doing you a lot of good. And when I say support system, I mean more in like the who you live with, who you are seeing on a day-to-day basis, not like all of your friends and supports in general, but the ones that you deal with the most often seem to not be doing you any favors, and it doesn't seem like they've done you any favors in a while.
Boy.
So why doth you persist with them?
You're going the middle one upside down. You're like really focusing on that one.
I am, because
Yeah.
it's, well, I was starting there because of what it's bookended by, but if you want to start somewhere else.
Well, no, actually, well, that's fine, because the whole point of the little metaphor of this card here basically is that the metaphor is you're the dragon boat. You're sailing, quote, in uncharted waters. Therefore, you're focusing on what's in front of you. Of course, the card is drawn from the side on purpose because we've got fish in the water, birds in the sky, and then literally boats behind. And these are all metaphors for your network, your assistants. The people who are physically here, the angels and other spiritual guidance above you, and then boats behind you as a reminder that you're not the only one in the same predicament as you are. Obviously, no one's going to basically tell you what to do, but the idea is that this essentially represents kind of like your support network. Well, upside down, kind of going, yeah, well, that support network really isn't kind of like doing much good right now, is it? The perception of you kind of like being on your own, in this case, is kind of like more accurate.
Mm-hmm. And Annie responded, "No job, money, place to go." And we are friends. I know your situation more than most people here, and I'm trying to not go into heavy detail. But what the cards are kind of getting you after here is, yeah, you've been in this situation for about more than a year now. There still are things that you can do to change your circumstances. It's just, are you willing to?
Right. You have to do it. The whole point of here, and by the way, Bonnie, I see you. I got you down on the wait list. Pair of fire cards. Your energy, and neither was upside down, by the way. Your energy is actually pretty good. So the combination of the male energy, the whole point of the little phallic symbol here, and that's really more of that's a metaphor. The thing is, because we all have male and female energy. But this one's more importantly, the last card being the Two of Wands. The idea is that, you as the dragon, you need to make a decision. Okay, actually, by the way the card's drawn, the decision's been kind of made. You're already leaning towards one chalice, but you physically haven't grabbed it, which means you actually haven't done any of the actual work to actually put this thing to fruition.
You, Annie, are a person like many of us that gets trapped inside your head.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's very hard for you to get out of it. And I completely understand the predicament that you're in. Believe me, I do. But there are absolutely ways that you can get out of it. And this is why I'm saying updating the support system in that way is crucial. Like, I know that you can't afford a place on your own. I know that you're looking into disability and things like that. If disability is something that you can get because of what's going on with you, especially as far as what you do for a living is concerned, if you can get on disability before that even happens, especially since you're working with my lawyer and she is amazing, she's going to do everything she can for you. Start looking for a roommate. Start looking for somebody who also wants out of their living situation. Like, that is honestly how my living situation came about. And my living situation that I'm in now is fabulous. I no longer wanted to live alone, and Ashley didn't want to live in her mom's house anymore. Here we are, 6 years later.
Here you are, exactly.
Still very happily living together. It's one of those things where it might not be in the way that you necessarily want to do it, but there are ways out of your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so it comes down to you to be the person to at least take a first step.
There we go.
And we support you.
And we do support you, exactly. Alrighty. So we're going to move on now. So again, we have Jackie Knight is next.
And then Joe.
And then Joe Lacey after her. And then if we don't have any of our other people from the previous who have signed up, we're going to move right into the wait list. So Jackie, time for your question, et cetera, et cetera. And Joe, you are now officially in the batter's box, in the on-deck circle.
Oh, is that what that is? I always thought that was a theater thing. Is that a sports thing?
It's a sports thing.
Oh.
Well, actually, I should say batter's box means you're at the plate.
No, but when you say you're on deck, I thought that was
on deck, that's literally in baseball. There's actually a spot. There's a circle where the person who's next to come up literally sits and waits.
Oh, I thought that was,
and then swings the bat and
I
it
thought
gets
that was
loosens
a
up and whatever.
backstage theater thing.
I mean, other people use it, but literally, it literally comes from baseball. There literally is an on deck circle drawn on a baseball field.
Learn something new every day.
Okay, we're going to go. She goes dragons. Both of us 15. How will next year go?
Well, I just learned something fun astrology-wise.
What's that?
There shall be no Venus retrograde for the entirety of 2024.
No kidding.
There shall be no Venus retrograde, which now it suddenly makes sense why the last Venus retrograde was so terrible.
Had to get it all out of its system.
It's like, well, if I'm not doing...
Not going to happen for a while,
right.
So...
And Virginia, what are you spawning me about? What is my age showing? Or is my non-sports person showing?
Oh, spawn me, oh, spawn. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go here.
No, that's like...
I think because you really didn't know what an on-deck circle, where that really comes from.
I don't sports-get-ball. I do not sports.
Sports-get-ball?
Yeah, that's what they all are, right? Do the thing. Make the points. I don't know what's happening.
For as much as a sports fan as I am, and the number of sports that your brother played, how could you be so inept when it comes to sports.
Because you guys never, you guys would watch it on the TV and never explain to me what was happening.
You didn't ask any damn questions. It's just like
I did in the beginning.
You didn't actually. You can't pick it up by watching.
No.
Lord knows I did it when I was a kid.
I went, okay, so they ran with the ball over there. Now they're running with the ball over here.
Baseball.
What's happening?
It's a simple game. You throw the ball. You catch the ball. You hit the ball. I'm sorry. Flip it over to the cards. It's not baseball season anyway. Whoops. Okay. My little jury rig thing. I'm guessing where these cards are half the time.
Oh, and Jackie, do let us know, what is your sign?
Yield.
Mine's do not enter.
Yeah, that's the punchline of that joke.
Yep. Oh, well then, Virginia, you broadcasting of sportscasting. Oh, Jackie's a bull.
And then here comes the Taurus card right in the middle here.
I was going to say.
All right, so she's got, it's funny. 4 of coins again. The Queen of coins again. And this time we have the Page of Swords, which also doubles as the sign for Gemini. But
I like that as a way better progression, though.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely.
I want to break free. I want to break free. That's
Earth, and then air.
And that's what that air card always makes me think of. That
I like the dragon going, wee, I'm free.
Yeah, but that's why that always makes me go, I want to break free.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jackie, how is your 2024 going to be? That's what you asked for.
Better than your 2023, it looks like.
However, I would say initially, right off the bat, overwhelming, confusing, or in the fact of like, oh my God, what did I just step into?
But isn't that what every January is like?
Yeah, well, it depends on the person, actually. Some people love to see the course of the new year. Others lament. It all depends on the concept here. But yeah, right off the bat, the poor dragon lost in the woods, kind of going, where the hell am I? Maybe you're not a winter person. I don't know. Or initially things just kind of come off and you have a good game plan and all that, and right off the bat you fumble the football. I'm gonna keep using sports metaphors for the rest of the night because of this, by the way. Just to mess you up, Red.
All right, so you know what I'm gonna do then?
So yeah, you basically you get the opening kickoff in January and you fumble the ball away right off the bat.
Okay, well then you know what I'm gonna do in response to that.
What's that?
So, Jackie, it looks like you're not going to start off 2024 with a lot of spell slots available, but it looks like you're definitely going to become a more, I'm not sure if you are a wizard, sorcerer, or warlock, but it definitely looks like you're going to be leveling up and getting yourself some more spell slots for some more higher powered magic. Hey, is this better?
It depends. It depends if they're into that more than
right.
Oh yeah.
So here you have
stuff,
you have sports and Dungeons and Dragons metaphors. This is great.
Hey, we can keep that going for quite some time, actually.
We sure can.
Anyway, this actually is a decent progression, by the way.
Oh, hang on. Just commented.
What's that?
Oh, Jackie, I love you even more. My current character is a dwarf bard. But okay, anyway, continue.
Anyway, so we have a good progression. Definitely, it's better to see it this way than the other way. You kind of get your crappy card out of the way first, beginning part of the year.
Yes, we like that as a progression.
Hippo Birdie
first.
Hippo Birdie 2 use. Here's your birthday card, the Taurus card, the Queen of Coins. Now, I'll grant you, this also, again, does refer to patience. The same thing which I said in the first time this card came up for Marianne's reading is, again, that you're going to have a little bit of patience as well. But for you, the year improves as you go. It'd be like a fine wine that improves with age, so to speak. Here.
No, I definitely think that in your case, the patience is going to be easier because I think by the time that this card is really calling for patience, you're going to be noticing the storm is coming to an end.
Yeah.
So at that point, you'll be like, okay, I can wait out the last few, rain bursts.
Well, also the fact is that it also says that initially, because you're being overburdened with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And it's not going to be until about springtime, because essentially, again, you have the signs here, basically Taurus and Gemini. forget your birthday right now. This also refers to time frames. Actually, we're going into, middle of spring to late spring, beginning of summertime. I mean, basically Gemini ends with the, with the summer solstice essentially.
So your summer is looking like you're actually gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that the Page of Swords card, in addition to being Gemini, is also the free flying dragon. The dragon that basically is literally going wee. He's like flying so fast, ripping the leaves off the tree. It's like essentially that you lose a burden. You lose, you basically, whatever's holding you back or holding you down, it's just like you let it, you either free yourself from it or it resolves itself. And you're like going, wow, I can actually breathe now. I have a lot better stuff going on. So,
which here, I'm just curious.
You want to do a clarifier?
Oh, I love this for you. Have a fucking vacation, take a nap, recharge.
Okay.
Love it.
So, Red drew a clarifier.
Just to see what I was just curious
upside
about,
down
like
hanging
after
dragon.
Summer.
So go ahead, yak away.
So okay, so your summer is looking, one, like it's going to be more enjoyable, but two, much more active than the beginning part of the year, which is then going to lead you into the hanging dragon, which is it is time for the rest and the recuperation. And maybe you're going to actually let yourself rest and recuperate in things without guilt. Most of us guilt ourselves about resting.
This is true.
American society, Western society in general, is very terrible about that. But yeah, no. So as a progression, these 4 cards, loving this for your year. It doesn't start off super great, but it gets good.
Well, also the fact of the first 2 cards being Earth cards essentially is that you really are focusing more on earthbound stuff. And therefore, it's like your own personal desires and goals and dreams that kind of like being put on the back burner until you get here. So yes, definitely. But I'd much rather see that than having the 4 of coins being at the end. That would kind of stink.
Yeah.
All right. So any questions for you, Jackie? And if not, we are going to move on. We will move on to Joe.
And yeah, for anybody that has not seen us do this before or not experienced this, you are totally allowed to ask questions. We're not just going to throw stuff at you and then be like, oh, you have questions? We don't care. Okay, with both of you for reading, I am a Cancer. Choose number 6, relationship 2024. Oh, and he is okay with whichever deck we choose. So maybe
we got to do the relationship deck for this one.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, what's Jackie's comment there?
That anxiety about next year. Thank you. You're welcome.
Absolutely.
As an anxious person, I love helping to alleviate other people's anxiety.
So, Joe, we're going to give you the love deck. The love deck. Sorry.
Is a little old deck where...
Stop it. I was doing the Love Boat theme.
I know, and then I went in a different direction.
I know you did. So, is there a relationship going to happen? Is it essentially is what he's asking?
Yes.
All righty. And what did he say his sign was? He said it was Cancer?
Cancer. So you feel things very deeply.
Yes. Okay, go ahead and switch. I think I got these things positioned. Not quite.
Pretty good. You're getting better.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to see around this crossbar thing. Yeah, you guys can't see that. We literally have our second camera here jury rigged on top of a rather screwball device because our normal stand is with Sound Guy. And unfortunately, I'm having a hard time seeing over the crossbar of this device that's holding the camera. Anyway, we have here the relationship, the R-rated deck. We have the Hermit number 9. We have the upside down King of Pentacles, which also doubles as Capricorn, by the way. Turn that so you can see that. And then we have the last card, the 7 of Chalices. And I will say one comment here, which essentially applied to Jackie's reading in the fact of the order of the cards. This is a good progression. I sure as hell would rather see this in the reverse. Because, Joe, I take it that you're not with anybody right now and you're looking forward to a relationship moving forward. And by the way, I need to make the comment on this deck. This, by the way, is deliberately drawn heterosexually because it's about male and female energy, not actual physical gender. So You literally could be anybody in the card. You could be the guy in the one card, the girl in the next one, and who the hell knows in the third, et cetera, et cetera. The Hermit is just what you think it is. In addition, also, I'm sorry, it's also the sign of Virgo. I forgot about that too.
Yes.
But I think Virgo is kind of irrelevant. It's more that idea is that the gentleman here, the main focus of the card, that's you. The idea is that, quote, life, love, and relationships of others are going on all around you, and yet you're kind of sitting here holding your little limp candle that's kind of going out. Well, I mean, honestly, before you really get into a relationship with somebody else, you have to really kind of understand where the hell you're coming from. The Hermit is not a bad card.
No, but there's asterisk. The Hermit.
You want to take this? Go for it.
The Hermit, like many other cards in tarot, is a double-edged sword. No, it is not bad, but it can be situationally, because the double-edged part of the Hermit is the longer you are away, the harder it is to go back. The harder, like, the longer that you are being by yourself and being a hermit, the harder it is to remember how to re-engage with.
Yes, that's true. Now, usually I really try to say if the card's upside down.
Right, but it's one of those things where I personally usually give that double-edged sword to people regardless, because there are some people that really don't see that the isolating can really have more impacts than they know.
Yes, since after all 'tis the season, I'll throw this out there. Jacob Marley. It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad amongst his fellow men and travel far and wide. And I won't bother with a quote because you're still alive. And so, but the idea is that, yes, the idea is that we all need some time to be alone,
Definitely.
rest, recuperate, etc. But the idea is that we're not meant to be alone. We are meant to be engaged with others. So the idea is that, yes.
Look at how the pandemic absolutely destroyed some people.
Absolutely. So the idea is that, okay, rest, recuperate, do what you've got to do, get your own act in order. But then the idea is that, okay,
then get back out there.
Get back out there. That's the king. Now, granted, it's upside down because the thing is that, and actually Capricorn refers to essentially now and going, I mean, Capricorn literally starts tomorrow. And the thing is, and goes into most of January. Yes. So the idea is that, take whatever time you want to take. But the thing is, looking forward to a relationship is that, recognize the fact that there's no time there's really, the time to start looking is now. You're not really waiting for, okay, well, I'll wait till winter's over because I hate winter or whatever. I mean, if you really want to, I mean, you're free will, have fun. But the card is actually kind of saying, frankly, you as the king, and you are the king in this card, you're actually having a little game here with somebody else here. It's a little peekaboo game. Is this something which is going to go be more than just, casual? Who the hell knows? Because this is just more of a casual, working with right now. The idea is that you need to basically start the process sooner than later. Because the last card really is the answer to the question of, is there something coming? The Seven of Chalices, you probably have heard of the phrase lucky number 7. 7's more a number of resolution than it is actually, quote, lucky number. But Chalices is about the suit for water, which is the suit for emotion. And look at the picture here. You see a man and woman, and they're actually, mostly unclothed, but heavily engaged in an embrace. Mm-hmm. So this is not so. I believe me, there's lots of cards in this deck which really kind of show more of the physical lust of relationships.
But this is about intimacy.
This is about intimacy and emotion. This is what you're actually craving more than anything else. I mean, if you're lusty and want to go out and have a night of physical fun, that's easy.
It is.
It really is. When you think about it, it really isn't difficult to go out and get laid, so to speak.
No.
But if you want to actually have the emotional intimacy, that's something totally different.
Yes.
And the idea is that it's a progression from, being by yourself to casual to intimate. The idea is that you're not going to go from nothing to this. You have to basically start.
Oh no, you're a Cancer. There has to be some emotional foundation there.
Well, true, but the thing is, you have to start with at least a little bit of little play and banter before. You can't just walk into a person and say, "I love you."
Oh no, but that's for
Well, you could, but that
Well,
probably wouldn't go very well.
for me as a Cancer with Cancer moon, controlling all my emotions and everything. For me, I don't do well in relationships where I was not friends for several years with the person first beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
The few relationships that I have tried where there was not friendship beforehand, yikes.
Oops.
So it seems sort of that you're in a similar way. There needs to be emotional intimacy. Physical intimacy is great, but that is not your primary concern.
And the idea is that, like with the other ones, it's a good positive progression.
Aw. Yes, it is.
Red, do another clarifier. Fire.
There's the passion.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of lust going on there.
But still, intimate.
But actually, yes, there is still there is still some intimacy inside this. As you can see, they actually are kissing as well as screwing.
It's honestly more of an embrace.
True. And again, there are some other cards where it's very obvious that what's going on is pretty much sex. And that's it. The actual intimacy part's not there. But it is what it is for various things there.
But for coming up for you in 2024, the way that this is all looking to me is, yes, if you let it. It's this big, there's this, and I don't know if you're reading it the same way I am, Dad, but I'm seeing this big sort of, you can get there if you allow yourself.
You have to want to, for one thing.
And perhaps a lot of this is outside of your comfort zone. I'm not really sure. But this is very much a here's what you could do if you're willing to do the journey.
I've got the lyrics of the old Yes song, Owner of a Broken Heart, going on in my head. Owner of a Lonely Heart. Because I does Owner of a Lonely Heart so much better than the Owner of a Broken Heart.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy who basically he's afraid to go out and actually chance it because after all, his heart might get broken.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, what's the end result? Nothing. Exactly. But it is a nice progression so that the cards are projecting that, yes, if you can basically get out there and start, quote, playing around, playing the field, just getting back out there and being a bit social, is that, yes, someone's out there for you, which is kind of nice. Alrighty.
So it looks like we're going to be moving directly.
One last call for Jody and Melanie and Julie and Allie rather, and Stacy. And Tina, because it was funny because Allie actually messaged me like 2 days ago, wanted to make sure she was still on the list. And I said, yes, you were. But
well, it looks like we are going to be moving straight into the waiting list.
Yep. And that's so for verse on the waiting list is Virginia Campbell, and then Mary, what was the last name? Sharkus?
I think so. I can't read your handwriting.
Yeah, my handwriting stinks right now. So
I've never been able to read your handwriting. Sorry, Virginia.
So
you know us. You know the drill.
Yes, I was going to say, Virginia, you're up. And then Mary, and then Godric, and then Haley, and Jonah. Unless somebody other ones actually comes back, and we got room for all of you, and even Chelsea, I believe, as well. All right, so Mary has chimed back in, and so Mary, you are now moving into the
Chelsea,
the batters on deck circle.
Chelsea, you're already on the wait list. We're literally saying that you might be our last one tonight, is what we're saying, if we did the math correctly.
Okay, so she is Dragons 42, and y'all can work together.
Oh, you missed Haley.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh yeah. So
I mentioned Haley.
Oh, sorry. Haley, you would be
after Godric.
1, 2, 3. So you would be 4. Yeah. We're doing
so
one.
We're going to do
3 after
Virginia.
This one.
Virginia, then Mary, then Godric, then Haley, then Jonah, then Chelsea. That's the order that I got right now.
Do.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you have a question, Virginia? Or
Virginia.
Are we just doing general?
Yes, Virginia. We need a question.
Well, we don't need a question.
Okay.
Do you have one?
Do you have one? If not, just say no. You don't.
General, she says.
As opposed to corporal. Or sergeant, colonel. Okay, those I know.
Ah, yes, good old Colonel.
Yeah, how is this? Well, whatever.
Is there a Santa Claus?
I just watched Miracle on 34th Street.
According to that movie, yes.
You go out there and rule there's not a Santa Claus. You go on out there and do that. I love that. I love that courtroom scene. The thing is that what that is, oh, the candy makers are going to love you, and the toy makers, and the Christmas cards, and the Salvation Army people. You go ahead and rule out there that there's no Santa Claus. Anyway, what's our number?
42.
42. Meaning of life. All righty. You really had a wonderful life, George Bailey. You got some nice cards here. All right, go ahead and flip it.
Oh, hold on a second. There's a debate happening.
What's that?
Now, Godric, while I agree Muppet Christmas Carol is excellent, George C. Scott, Christmas Carol is my top and always will be. And the only other Christmas movie that I care about that so much that I actually will watch it anyway every year is The Homecoming. So, while I agree, Muppets Christmas Carol, good. George C. Scott is my favorite Scrooge.
Mr. Cratchit?
Mr. Cratchit's fine. He died on the Titanic.
Oh, he also died in The Omen, too.
That actor
the original
yeah,
Omen.
that actor just dies in a lot.
Well, yeah. It's funny, actually. He's still alive, too. Actually, the majority of the cast of the George C. Scott's version of Ebenezer Scrooge, other than the kids, most of them are dead now. But he's actually still alive.
Good for him.
Anyway, we really digress.
Yes, we do.
Go ahead and flip this over. All right, so we have the upside down 2 of cups. We have the 7 of coins. And we have the upside down Justice card, or Libra. Someone just chiming in and said the Grinch.
Oh yeah, everybody's now going with their favorite Christmas movies. I love it.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
Well, Virginia.
They're great.
Wow, okay.
I'm sorry, because that guy he was also the original voice of Tony the Tiger.
I know, I just wasn't expecting to be there great at the end. Wow, Virginia, if there was a progression that described you more, not seeing one.
You're not seeing a progression at all?
No, a progression that would describe her more.
Okay.
Which, she is a Libra, she got her.
I got that, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, Virginia, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know. So, you understand the value of the low-hanging fruit. You are one of the few that do.
Ain't that the truth?
Low-hanging fruit has value. The 2 of cups there. The dragon is going for the lower cup versus the higher cup. They both have water. Dragon's thirsty. It's easier to go for the lower one.
Also, because the fact of normal says, reach for the highest star, blah, 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 blah. We've heard that before, but the cups are the same thing. It's not like the upper cup is like, twice the size or full of money or whatever. No, it's the same thing.
And it's just more within reach. You are very good at holding yourself together with spit and shoe polish. I admire you for that. However, it is one of your greatest strengths and one of your greatest weaknesses. You are worth more than spit and shoe polish. Remember that. Moving into the Seven of Coins. Yes, you are in I don't envy the position that you're in right now. You are essentially the glue holding your family together. And because of that, it's hard to tell which side of the bridge is the most advantageous side.
Well, we know which one you're hovering on. Obviously, the closer shore. But the point behind this is that if you're ever actually going to achieve anything that you want to do, you're going to have to get to the other side.
And I know that you've just done a big relocation and everything, but we're not talking physical.
No.
Your Libra card screams at you that you need balance. You are not going to find it in the situation that you are in. And I'm not talking living situation and the moving portion necessarily. I am talking about the taking care of you've been pouring from an empty cup for about 6 months-ish now. And me, Matt, other support for you have been doing our damnedest to refill it for you as fast as it empties out. But that's not a fix. That is a Band-Aid. You need to start looking at real fixes to achieve that balance that you need.
Justice card's upside down.
Because she's not balanced at all.
Exactly.
Right now.
Well, the idea is that the only way, and I'll grant you, balance is an average. We as humans are never going we'll go through life, flatline.
Oh no, but it is very obvious that one of the scales right now is basically on the ground and the other's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
We can get a bit more balanced than that.
That's true. The idea is that, unfortunately, to really achieve what's closer to an average balance, the person who has to pull it off is you.
Which sucks because you're already doing so much work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I know you're not gonna like it. I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. You can't fix a situation you didn't break if the other people involved in the breaking aren't willing to come to the table.
Very well put, by the way.
Thanks, I tried.
The one card that was not upside down is the Seven of Coins. I sometimes also refer to this as the Leap of Faith card. The idea of, trying to cross that bridge over that rather deep pit. If you try walking across the bridge is of really questionable construction. You really have no idea if that can actually hold your weight until you're on it. And then, unfortunately, it's kind of a bit late.
Mm-hmm.
You get across safely, yay, or it collapses and you go down with it. So it is literally a leap of faith to get on the thing in the first place. But that's, unfortunately, you are going to have to take a bit of that so-called leap of faith if you're ever going to really get past where you are. You have to trust your feelings, Luke.
And also, I'm going to say one more thing that I know that you won't like, but I can get away with it because I'm doing a psychic reading for you right now. So, in order to do any of these steps, you have to start valuing yourself. Please, do it for me.
Do it just for you?
I value you. Value you the way I value you. I'm trying to learn how to value myself the way that my supports do, because, you specifically keep telling me how I'm not allowed to do anything horrible or mean to myself, because then that's me being rude to your friend and you won't stand for it.
Virginia says, y'all aren't telling me anything I don't already know. Sometimes that's what the tarot does. It's just kind of like restates the obvious, but from a kind of a disinterested third party.
Your Band-Aids love you too. We do. We love you. We are just fully aware that we cannot help you as much as you need.
Clarifying?
Go for it.
Oh, you're going to love this one.
Ooh.
The Four of Cups returns. Mama Dragon feeding the baby dragons, and the number 4 basically saying is that this phase must end.
Yep, straight up.
You have got to basically let some of this stuff go. Those little dragons can take care of themselves now. You don't need to be hovering over them like mommy all the time, so to speak.
Even though I know that 2 of those dragons are your actual kids, but this is the moment, Virginia, when you look at your kids and you look at yourself and you realize that you've actually raised some excellent human beings. I love your children. They're my children now too. I don't invite just anybody's kids up for Christmas stuff without their parent, Don't just be like, "Come on, kids, let's, You've raised some excellent human beings. You don't have to worry about them so much now. If anything, they're going to start doing the fun thing where they start worrying about you. And it's going to be very disconcerting for you. It was disconcerting for my parents when I started doing that.
Yeah, it kind of was, actually.
And I was like, and they were like, no, I'm fine. And I'm like, you're not, though. So, yeah. The two of those baby dragons, we're going to just discount the third, but 2 of those baby dragons are getting to the point where they can turn around and look at you and be like, Mom, we can also support we can support you, you can support us, we can support each other.
Yep. Alrighty. We put that away. Mary, quite contrary. You were up next.
Mary, did you know that your reading's next?
Mary, did you know that your reading's next?
Yes, thank you. Oh,
a lot of people don't even know that Christmas song.
General on upcoming year 2024, number 59, and she is a Gemini.
I'm smelling we should do this deck. We haven't pulled the Swiss 1-1J out deck, and she did not specify.
Give shuffle.
Oh, this was never shuffled?
No. What with all of the technical difficulties, shuffling went quite out of my brain.
I was going to say our whole, we're going to go back and rewatch this video at the beginning. It's going to be like,
we're going to be like, what the hell?
What the hell were we talking about? It's a cluster. We were like not even in camera view and trying to get everything to work. Oh, gotta love Facebook.
Yeah, Virginia, you're getting to the point where you're going to start having adult conversations with your children, and then you guys are going to get on a more peer level. It's a mind fuck on both ends.
Alrighty. So what was her question again? What was Mary's question?
Upcoming year 2024.
Upcoming year. All right. So I hate this. Boy, I can't see what the hell I'm doing here. All right. Go ahead.
I can. You're pretty close.
Go ahead and flip it.
Flip-de dip.
All righty. So they are all upside down. No, actually, wait. No, that's not upside down.
Yes, that means it is not.
Okay, this is your deck, so I want to make sure. So we have the not inverted 4. Very
That's
poor.
not how you do it. Roman numeral.
I think Roman numeral I. It's wrong. But anyway, still 4 of coins, and then we have the upside down Le Mans, otherwise known as the Fool, which is numbered 0 in the deck. Only it's funny this deck doesn't actually put a number on it. And then we have the upside down Valet of coins.
What has happened? Excuse us.
Or the page of coins.
There we go. It's just like, well, for an upcoming 2024, I like that for you.
Actually, it is kind of interesting.
I like
pair of Earth cards.
I like the Fool sort of being bookended by you realizing your worth.
4s can be so businesslike, so boring. So let's just move on. Especially when we can't even do the Roman numeral correctly.
Right.
Oh, and the card is supposed to be so lovely, symmetrical.
But it's not. Is it?
Is it symmetrical? Well, if you look at it from really quickly, you look at the big items and you say, yeah, it looks pretty symmetrical. And actually, by saying that, you'd be right. Then you look at the finer detail and you realize that, oh no, it's not. Now it is only finer details. Little squiggle lines here. The colors don't quite match. It's close, but not quite. Just remember that there are going to be imperfections. So from the from the global view, it looks pretty comfortable. You look when you actually get out of the forest and go into the trees, you kind of go. Then you start seeing the various imperfections. Welcome to life. Welcome to reality.
Welcome to January.
Welcome to January, exactly.
Apparently, none of us are going to have easy Januaries.
No. But the thing is, it depends on how anal retentive you are. Some people could look at those imperfections and not really care. Others would kind of go, nope, I got to fix the color here. I got to make this darker over here, lighter over here. I want to fix the squiggles here. There's a leaf missing over here. I want to fix all this. Okay. What actually, what are your goals? What are your plans? Because it looks like overall, from the global point of view, someone else looking at this would say, you're doing pretty damn good. But it's the minutia. That's the thing. How much time do you really want to spend on the minutia? This progression kind of says initially is that you really kind of really do spend some time on the minutia until you realize kind of like
that the minutia isn't the important bit.
Right. Or as one of my old college professors said to me in one of my freshman classes, a difference that makes no difference is no difference.
I like that. But yeah, moving into the Fool, and I love the Fool. The Fool is my favorite card in the deck. And it is my favorite card in the deck because it is all about you genuinely going, oh my gosh, enough of people telling me that my idea is not good or what I want to do, with my life in the upcoming month is a bad idea. All these unsolicited advice people coming. The Fool is the person that's like, I don't listen to that. I'm not listening to you because it's my life and I've made this decision. And whether or not you think I am a fool, I know what I am and I know what I am doing.
Remember, the Fool essentially is the smartest person in the room who's also smart enough not to let anybody else figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, upside down, mainly because that's a concept which is going to take a while for you to really embrace.
It takes a while for everybody to embrace it, really. Again, Western society, it teaches us to not trust our instincts, to not listen to our gut, and to overthink ourselves to death.
Mm-hmm. Case in point is that, it's the Fool that basically says, stop worrying about the minutia. Because you're never, ever going to get this first card perfected. It just doesn't work that way. Because there's this thermodynamic concept that's called entropy, which means disorder. That is that the more that you put things together, the more that they just fall apart again anyway. So you fix the big issues. You don't worry about the little ones. You don't sweat the small stuff as much. Again, that's a concept which is a lot of people don't ever learn, or it takes them a long time to learn. Your Fool upside down, when you realize it's very much a freeing perspective once fully embraced. And then the final card, Virgo, by the way, the Valet or the Page of Coins. There he is essentially holding his coin up there, almost like it's an instrument. It's like let's do the tambourine thing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it looks like he's doing. It's like he's holding it like it's a tambourine.
A bit.
Well, the idea is that same coin is here, same concept of obviously I can't let Earth go. I still have to basically do things. Earth is still important, but I also don't have to take myself so seriously anymore. So the thing is the Valet there. He's a little bit of the combination of the seriousness of the Fool of Coins and the silliness of the Fool. it is a nice little combination of the two.
You can have both. It's fine.
Yes. So actually, like if you want to basically say going from the sublime to the ridiculous is the first two cards, and actually going to the fool, maybe a little much of overcompensation. Okay. So rather than basically being on the far left side of the pendulum at the beginning, going to the far right side in the middle, the last one kind of has you back, kind of has you in the middle of the section. Not in either extreme, but you're kind of like in the middle there. And you're drawing a clarifier. What do you have there?
Well, because she asked a question. Will she find love again in 2024? She is a widow.
No, you have a Knigget.
Knights are indicative of change. So for that particular question, perhaps I worry a little bit that it is the Knight of Swords, but perhaps that just means that you like partners that you can be very cerebral with and talk and do lots of deep talking and deep thinking with.
That's one way of basically looking at that. Because yes, I mean, we have for elements, we have Earth and then the Fool, which actually carries no element, and now with the Knight here, we have the Knight of Swords, or air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it could be you might find somebody who isn't as emotionally available as you want because swords is more the suit of the brain, but maybe you yourself are a more brainy person that is looking for a partner that matches.
A cerebral partner.
Yes.
A friend, not necessarily an actual emotional. And of course, nothing says that it can't ultimately lead there, but it's going to start off with, if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to start off with being more from the air side.
Definitely seems more like a friend that could lead into something else. More Earth!
More Earth. Just want to clarify one more time. We've got the Ace of Coins. So basically more Earth. So, all righty. Any other questions, Mary?
She's got an Aries friend. Well, hey, maybe there is something.
Air and fire are compatible.
Yeah, air and fire are compatible.
All righty, we're going to move on. We are up to Godric.
Godric!
And then Haley. And then Jonah.
The Dark Shadows deck. Number 12, career advice. So Godric is a Virgo.
We're going to use Dark Shadows again.
Yes.
I'm going to shuffle this one more time.
Yes, Mary, I agree. I think everybody in 2024 should learn their value and understand that they have, because we really just in our society, we just bulldoze right over that. Uh-oh, Godric, he's laughing.
Actually, I've never seen that card come up in a reading before.
Oh, I have.
From this deck? I've seen the card come up, but not in this deck.
The artwork for this one is pretty funny.
Well, I'll give you one thing.
Here, is he near the computer? Is he near whatever you're listening to? Got on. Meow! Meow! Meow!
You're talking cat.
Well, apparently Godric's cat heard my voice and meowed at me.
Ah, okay.
So there. I've meowed back.
All right. So flip it.
Nice.
None of them are upside down. I think this the first reading we've had tonight where there are no upside down cards.
Good God, I'm not surprised by the devil in this at all. I'm not surprised at all.
6 of Swords, number 15, El Diablo, or Le Diable, depending with French or Spanish, and then the 9 of Earth.
Sorry.
And by the way, 15 XV 1 and 5 makes 6. The great number of confusion. And by the way, that's also doubles for the sign of Capricorn again.
So
Capricorn's a big thing tonight.
So you want some career advice, Godric? Because the devil showed up to you. And oh boy.
Do you really want the advice here? Is this poor person going, oh no, the devil is here?
But I do genuinely think that this is some advice that you need, Godric, my love. Because I've over the years of our friendship, I've seen your posts about your various jobs and things. And sir, you work yourself into the ground for companies that do not give any thought to you.
That's actually very common in this effed up business world that we live in. And
so the devil has shown up to go, hey, how about you stop that?
Ah, yes, because after all, that first card there represents your current status point of your work. Confusion. Oh, the 6 of Swords, which, that was for the confusion, but the swords, they're curved, they're all entwined in themselves, but it's like you're trying to form this beautiful pattern, and we were going to get back to the whole thing of symmetry. Yes, this deck is big on symmetrical cards, or actually not symmetrical at all. Just kind of like looking like they're supposed to be until you look at the finer details and realize that, oh my God, not even close. Is this card symmetrical? Yeah, if you look at like the sword like that, yeah.
Not the center with
but
the
not
plant.
Not the center. Not even close is that center. And the idea is that, your bosses are just kind of like telling you, do this, slave, do that, slave, realizing that you'll do it because you're playing the whole yes sir, 3 bags full. And who ultimately,
you don't get anything out of that.
Right. All the extra stuff, all you're basically it's everybody else who's above you who's actually reaping the rewards of your efforts. But by all means, keep doing the same thing over and over again, because after all, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing again and expecting different results.
Yep. And again, we're not judging. Like, we know why you are doing the things you are doing, especially in this economy.
Yes.
However, you said career, you did not say job, and those two things imply two very different things. Job-wise, if you want to keep working yourself to death, that's on you, but career speaking, if you want to stop that at any point in time, gotta listen to the devil.
Yeah, the devil's there to actually kind of like tell you, point you in the right direction. Believe it or not,
the devil is the original humanist.
For one thing, he's going to tell you things you don't want to hear. He's going to disrupt your status quo.
I smelled what Godric was putting down. Godric used the career word intentionally, yes. So then, you should do what Mary is going to do in the year of 2024. Realize your value, both personally and market-wise. And then act like you have value.
Mm-hmm. Because you can go to a place which actually far more appreciates what you're doing. That's the 9. 9 is for transformation. Again, earth.
That's a lot of coins.
Money, a lot of coins there. And actually, getting back to the whole concept of symmetry, you look at that card. Is that card completely, perfectly symmetrical? The answer is no.
But is it pretty damn close?
It's a lot closer than this one. Because if you look at just the big picture, the various coin symbols, and then these little squiggles, the blue and the red squiggles are there, just those alone, that actually is perfectly symmetrical. Then there's the little sidebar things here which kind of like branch off this. Okay, now those are the little imperfections of life, and they will never get completely right, and they're not supposed to, by the way. But this is a far more symmetrical and more stable than this. Also, 6 to 9. It's a nice little progression. You're actually getting more than what you were getting before. Yeah. You don't want to necessarily hear what the devil has to say. That's you putting your face in your hands. I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
And I get it, because again, the devil is tough love. The devil is not nice in the messaging.
That's for sure.
But Godric, my darling, you need the tough love. Godric would like a clarifier for a sense of direction.
Okay. Another 6. Another coins.
All right, so we have the number of confusion again. So let me ask you this, all right? Career, since you're using that career word intentionally, what is the change that you are either unsure about making or afraid to make? Because that sort of seems like where we are currently at to sort of get the ball rolling from that clarifier.
I think he's afraid about his finances more than anything else.
Which is completely fair.
Yeah, actually, that's a very legitimate concern.
I'm also concerned about my finances. I don't know anybody who isn't concerned about their finances.
This is one of those things that where, like, if you're really looking actually making the change from a job point of view, you have to be very, very smart, and almost like play the game, time your exit well if you're going to move on, and make sure you have a space that you're going to move over towards.
Yeah, and I think that sort of lines up with what Godric just said. Because Godric, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, there is probably a reason why you feel like you're spinning your wheels. And it's probably because you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is what you want this particular industry is something that you want to continue in. But if you do, in order to stop spinning your wheels, major change has to come along. Or you can just pivot completely to a different industry.
Well, part of the problem I think is that, especially if he's been with the same company for a long time, is that they got used to the status quo. They like things the way they are. So
I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Godric, I don't think he's been with the same company the whole 10 years. Just in the same industry.
Same industry.
Like you. In all of the different various offices
and
you've
the various
done engineering
things, right, and done engineering things, and you do lateral moves, and sometimes, beyond a certain point there, I actually, to get a bloody promotion and a raise, I had to quit and go to another firm.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to a certain point in my age where all of a sudden now it worked the other direction. It was like diminishing returns, and therefore I couldn't keep doing that. And it's like, okay, realizing that I'm never going to be, unless I go out completely on my own and form my own company, I'm never going to be in that upper echelon. I'm never going to be in that boardroom. I'm never going to be that vice president.
I enjoy the work, but it seems like no matter what I do, there is no progression.
Yep.
And that's because they're purposefully not allowing you to progress.
Yeah.
So
welcome to corporate America.
So perhaps if you, like you've just said, like Dad, you feel like you're hitting the diminishing returns part, maybe it is time to pivot to something else completely. Like Dad is also doing. Fafnir and Spawn has secretly been the retirement plan the whole time.
Oh, yes. Another option, though, is that if you really actually like what you're doing, is that really kind of like behind the scenes shop a competitor, and really kind of play the game of I don't want to come in for a lateral move.
And I don't know if Godric could do anything like you do sometimes, like contract work.
Yeah, there's contract work. I'm very fortunate as I'm working for a very small company now where my boss literally is like a dinosaur and still runs a lot of ways, runs his business like it's the 1960s, which is very, very refreshing because he still believes in the power of a handshake deal. And he treats his employees like they're like his friends and his family.
What's that?
As opposed to just like spreadsheet.
What's that?
Exactly. There aren't many people like that out there, but there are some. On the other hand, maybe open up your own shingle. If you've got that much experience in what you're doing, can you actually open up your own company and do the same damn thing? Become a contractor rather than be a contractor to the company you're employed with right now rather than an employee, because the world's very, very different from that perspective.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, Godric, that's awful. I am sorry. That is awful. I am sorry. Tell us all who, and we'll just Google review spam them.
Hey, well, nothing says that you can't basically leave them as well. Go out and, find another place to go to and jump ship.
Very, very true.
I certainly jumped around enough times. I'm still here as an engineer. I've started to be 40 flipping years as an engineer, but I worked for like 10 different firms over that time frame.
I don't have enough work experience to have done all of that, but also childcare profession is very different from most other professions.
All right, next on the list
is Haley.
Haley, and then Jonah.
And then Chills.
And then Chills, and I think we're calling it a night after that. Because let's see, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, Godric was number 7, so we got three to go. So assuming that Haley and Jonah and Chelsea are all here still.
So Haley says, I am a Taurus. He is a Sagittarius. I just went through what I learned was a karmic relationship. Did I do the right thing of ending it? My trust is broken, but could it still work? Yes, you did. Non-psychic. Yes, you did the right thing. The second the trust is broken, the relationship is broken. But from a psychic standpoint, relationship deck, I think.
Well, there's another thing here, which you said. I
asked for the sake of third-party channeling. I believe what I did was right, but I'm wondering.
Did she have her number?
Can you just give us a number 1 through 78 for where we start in the deck? Don't know if you've shuffled or not.
Oh, yeah, the deck is shuffled, so I just need a number.
Number 10. We're going to do you the relationship deck.
Oh, absolutely.
And
did you do the right thing?
And I might have to take just a pause really quick and blow my nose. So sorry.
Well, do you want to flip this over before?
Yeah, I can do that.
Or are you just going to do it here?
Here, get yourself situated.
That's pretty close, I do believe.
There you go. And ta-da!
Whoops, not quite. So we have, first off, the Knave of Chalices, or Pisces. Then we have the upside down, the World. Literally the last deck, the last card in the deck. Number 21, 2 and 1 being 3. And then the Knave of Wands, otherwise known as Sagittarius, just from a zodiac perspective. So yes. Now you're a Taurus, and he's the Sag, and we got Pisces and Sag in here. So, did you do the right thing of ending it? Well, I'll put it this way. Let's just look at this card right here. The Frustrated Poet card. Now, I'll grant you, it's a metaphor. But the idea is that, here's the person who's basically trying to write that perfect poem, that perfect sonnet. And, well, from his own point of view, can't. He just can't achieve what he wants to achieve. Gets so mad at himself, rips up the paper, throws it in the balls in the back. See, the little kitty here is actually playing with some of the previous mistakes that he's done. And he's just completely and totally frustrated. Mainly outside, you see there's a couple dancing in the moonlight, saying as a metaphor, yes, life goes on, happiness goes on, etc. goes on. Well, he's there trying to perfect, his writings and get that perfect love poem, that perfect Shakespearean style sonnet, that perfect whatever you want to call it. Oh, the frustration. Well, yeah. The thing is that, what did you say it was karmic? You went through a karmic relationship. What you learned was a karmic relationship. The idea is that there was something wrong with this from the very beginning, and obviously it just took a while before you actually realized what was going on. Hence the whole point of breaking the trust here. So this was going to lead you to nothing more than continued frustration if you had bothered to maintain this. The world second card being the upside down card, is the fact is that, it refers to the whole point of giving and the taking. Again, remembering that the male and the female here, she's on the flowers being massaged and all that. But the idea is that the world recognizes the fact is that you can't play the one role. Today you're the lady, tomorrow you're the guy. Today you receive, tomorrow you give, or flip it around. Doesn't really make much difference. If the whole point of the balance is supposed to be there, upside down, you didn't actually have that. Your person, the Sagittarius, apparently was a bit more of a player.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you've been seeing
doing the tango here. That's what this is.
Well, I don't know if you've seen some of the comments coming in.
Actually, no.
Yeah. So he's been trying to manipulate a message that he thinks I want to hear. Ding ding. And we have all I did was give. Well, he just took it. And here's the thing, Haley, is another thing.
You were just, it was a moment says, I was blinded by the feelings.
Yep. And
blinded by the light.
And here's the thing. You're not the first. You won't be the last person to get caught in a situation like this, especially women. We are socialized to give while they take.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we are socialized to do. And it is only recently that we've gone, hey, maybe that's actually not such a great thing.
Well, us progressive people recognize the whole point of the giving and the take is that, yes, I want to receive too. But I realize that the only way I'm going to actually receive what I want to is if I give. Mm-hmm. There's the whole point of, I don't want to be in a position where I'm doing nothing but giving either. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to. But the thing is, I realize that, I want to be able to have that balance, knowing that, the more they say, the more you give, the more you receive. That's not totally true. It depends on the person that you're giving it to. Some people are just basically bottomless pits. Your Sagittarius was the tango dancer. Fun dance, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It's like it's an old style dirty dancing on the floor, right? It's very, very sexually provocative, especially if it's done right. But the thing is, but there's more to it than just the dance. There's more to it than just the lust. So yes, did you make the right decision? That's a big fat duh.
Because he's
you did.
Because he's also doing some stuff that he's been conditioned to do. Because, I'm sorry, I'm going to make some sweeping generalizations here, Dad.
Oh, go for it. You won't insult me.
But in the way that us women are conditioned to give until there is nothing left and then give some more, men are conditioned to do this. Men are not conditioned to A, understand how their emotions work, B, be alone. So if you have a player, of course he's going to always want to have his hooks in you. Because where's his next supply going to come from if he doesn't already have somebody else on the hook? Men emotionally have no idea how to deal with their emotions. They are not taught to. And they're not taught how to have friends. They are taught to make their partners, their wives, mothers, and therapists all rolled into one. That is what they are literally taught how to do.
I can concur with an awful lot of that. I know what I was taught. That's for sure. Now it's funny. I actually never had any problem with being alone. Now that's actually me being a dragon.
Well, that's also very specific for you because you were also very bullied and stuff, and that's a lot of your specific. But on the other hand, in terms of conditioning of men versus women,
but I was actually also taught to respect women, and so the thing is that was also very ingrained in me. The fact of recognizing that
Oh well, that's also very different from most men.
Well, I understand that. I was taught some old school values, which unfortunately seem to have been lost throughout the generations. But we were taught to honor them and respect them. Now, the problem I had is that you do, the thing is, you do a little too much, you realize that you're not being honored and respected in return. A person like me, I got taken advantage of big time by women early on when I was younger.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that women can't take advantage right back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making sweeping generalizations on mostly how we are conditioned to be with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which we are conditioned to be the bottomless well that constantly gives to you. And you are conditioned to take it all and give nothing back.
That's the line from...
Take what you can. Give
nothing back.
Pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you men, you're basically conditioned to be pirates. Good job.
Honey, I'm home. Where's my dinner?
Yeah. But yes, so from a psychic standpoint and from a personal standpoint, ending it is probably the healthiest thing that you could have done for yourself.
I love their last one. Basically, she caught him red-handed and he still lied.
Oh, yeah. I love when they do that. And then Johnny is here. Virgo number 13. Do you have a deck in mind, Jonah, at all?
Or a question?
I'm scrolling back just in case. Because you never know. We might have missed one.
Any last comments, Haley, before we move on to Jonah?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. So
no preference, she says.
Okie dokie.
All right, dragons it is.
There we go.
Pull the dragon deck, which has not been used. Oh, what's Haley's last comment there?
I have countless comments, but I got all my questions answered. And if you have any more, feel free to reach out and, come watch next time.
Alrighty.
I am caught in stress between my son and a boyfriend who has moved in with me. Okay. Are you ready for me to flip?
Go for it.
Flip.
So dragons we're big on Earth tonight.
We really are. God. So many
5
points.
of Earth, the inverted 2 of Earth, and the Wheel of Fortune.
Where's Vanna?
I was going to say, you used to play Vanna White.
I know.
Way back when.
That was fun.
So we have the dragon hovering over the labyrinth, trying to assess every little possible detail in the future. Yes, we call this paralysis by analysis. The idea being is that the only way you're really going to solve that labyrinth is to get in the bloody thing. And I'll grant you. Now, I tell people, it's like, you have a problem, a little bit of advanced research is kind of nice. Yeah, get some good intelligence reports before you go in. But the more you hover over and stay, in the book, you don't get anything actually accomplished. Also, because the fact is that your sources can't possibly foresee all ends. The labyrinth is a metaphor for what's going to be happening in the future. And the walls of the labyrinth are going to change while you're in there. Kind of like in the Harry Potter film, The Goblet of Fire, where the kids were in the maze and the maze started changing. Because that's just the way it is. Case in point, 5 years ago, who predicted COVID?
Oh, no. Not us.
Well, nobody did.
No.
I mean, if anyone actually goes back and said that they predicted it, they'd be lying.
No.
Now, I'll grant you can look back on it and say, yes, the world was definitely statistically due for a global pandemic. But 2 years before it started, nobody predicted it would say, hey, in a year and a half, we're going to start having a global pandemic.
Well, actually, that's not true. One of the things that everybody got very mad at our previous president for was dismantling the team that Obama had put in place just for this, because infectious disease experts had basically warned Obama that right as he was leaving office, we were essentially going to be due for...
Well, yeah, it's like, but it's like saying that Los Angeles is due for the big earthquake, which is also true.
Right, but also look at Iceland. I don't know if you have seen what's going on in Iceland.
You mean now?
Yeah, the volcanoes.
Mm.
They're having gigantic volcanic eruptions.
Right.
They evacuated a town over a month ago because it was looking like it was looking like any day for over a month, and some people were starting to get pissy. Oh, you've moved us out for nope, there it went. We didn't move you out for no reason.
It just took longer than we thought.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where people did predict not COVID specifically, but because in human history, every 100 years we have had a plague.
Roughly, yeah.
And so Obama put together a more infectious disease department that Trump then dismantled, which is part of why we were so unprepared.
Unprepared?
Yes. Anyway,
let's not belabor that. Let's move on. So yes, so we have paralysis by analysis. Then we have the marriage card.
Get off the counter.
Oh, hello, Pandora. I'm surprised it took her this long to come down here. Our kitty is here. Often we do these readings. Our little kitty shows up. Upside down, yes, but this refers to, I call this the marriage card. Not that it actually refers to a physical marriage, but you have the male and female characters exchanging little tokens.
And also,
it refers to an alliance of some type.
And also, Jonah, just for my understanding, just to make sure I understand fully what is the stress between you and the boyfriend, you and the son and the boyfriend, like, where are the problems stemming?
I'm going to basically guess and say it's between the boyfriend and the son. That's kind of like how I'm interpreting that.
That is how I was interpreting it. I just wanted to be sure. Brandon doesn't trust.
Brandon doesn't trust him.
Okay, so I just wanted to be sure before we carried on.
Well, this is the one which is upside down, and the idea is that this really refers to you and Al. Brandon's not really part of this, and the idea is that do you trust him? That's the important thing here. There are definitely different agendas. And obviously, Brandon may have some valid, points. And obviously, obviously you want to hear what he has to say about.
Yeah, there might be something to their relationship that you don't know about.
Right.
Like they could have had words when you weren't around or something.
Yeah, or the fact of if he actually visually saw him, like stealing some money out of someone's wallet as a silly little example or something like that. There's stuff like that because obviously.
But if it's just they don't get on personality wise,
right? Because honestly, this really comes down to your relationship with him, with Al, not with Brandon. That's the quote marriage card really here does refer to you and your partner, not you and your son. And then the last one, the Wheel of Fortune, was, okay, let's let random chance operate in your favor. No, thank you. What do they say in the Hunger Games? May the odds be ever in your favor.
You just, thanks, Jonah. You just hit on a very, very important piece of this that I can definitely speak to as also a disabled person. Al is a hard worker and he doesn't understand that Brandon is disabled. So that is probably what is causing the biggest issue. And I am sorry, and I don't want this to come out rude or accusatory or anything, but in that way, you do need to make sure that Al understands what Brandon's specific needs are, so that, God forbid, if there's an emergency where you're not around, Al could handle it, and Brandon could handle Al handling it. Because again, like as a disabled person, I completely understand the not trusting somebody who does not understand my disability. But it is one of those things of, do they just not understand it, or are they actively not trying to?
Right. It's one thing to basically be a little bit ignorant, but the thing is, ignorance can be taught. Stupid is forever.
Yes. So I think you need to sort of figure out which situation it is. Is it just that Al is just ignorant and just genuinely doesn't understand? Or is he giving Brandon issues about his needs, and
as in he's being that jerk of it. Oh, you're not really disabled. You're just being lazy. You get up and get off your ass and do some work. Because we know people that are like that way.
Yeah, no, and I understand that likes Brandon and relates to him, but you're worried about, but you need to be worried about the fact that Brandon does not like or relate to him, and it very could be largely stemming from the Al might be trying, but he doesn't understand. But if they're not having a conversation in which it's made very apparent to Brandon that Al just isn't understanding but is trying, because it's one of those things where, you know, to Brendan, it could potentially be coming off as something malicious that Al is doing on purpose.
Right. And unfortunately...
And you got to get all of that cleared up.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Wheel of Fortune, because essentially is that, no, you're not going to let random chance operate in your favor. Essentially, you look at the picture of this card, the dragon is in the wheel. Therefore, the idea is that, you know, you are the dragon. Rather than just basically spinning the wheel and just let it go where it's supposed to go, let nature take its course, i.e. let Brandon and Al basically like work their own struggles out between the two of them, even though they may not see eye to eye. No, you're going to get in that wheel and direct it to a spot where you actually want it to land. You're going to have to be the bridge, the gap between the two. Because I mean, it's something, it may be a bit of a sucky job, but the thing is that you're going to have to essentially be the peacemaker between the two of them.
Yeah, no, being stuck in the middle is never fun, but you love and care about them both and don't want a situation like this to either ruin your relationship with your boyfriend or ruin your relationship with your son.
Right.
You don't want that.
And this card coming in here, that's more the reminder of the fact of is that this is legit, by the way. You know, this is not, you know, a passing fancy, you know, thing is you want this relationship with you and Al to actually really, really, really work out.
Which, hey, that's great. And from what you're saying, it sounds like Al is more ignorant, not in a malicious way. Just needs to. I'm guessing that there needs to be a lot more conversing with the three of you, and maybe they can get to a point where Brandon can really just talk to Al about this stuff himself specifically.
Yeah, because obviously this is probably it's a perspective which probably Al has never seen, has no experience on, and doesn't know anybody who actually has had similar issues. Therefore, he's kind of like, you know, not sure what to deal with all this.
We all have our first experiences, you know. It is very hard as a disabled person because so much of society is malicious towards us that I know that I struggle with this sometimes. Maybe Brandon struggles with it too, but sometimes I do struggle with what is just ignorance versus what is malicious.
So I drew a clarifier real quick since Jonas, let's say you asked the question, you're hoping it will all work out. That's the clarifier, the Six of Swords.
If people are willing to do the work.
Yeah, essentially is that the swords in this deck, once you get past the three anyway, start forming metaphorical door frames. This one is such, but the thing is that, so some people, they call it a bit of a jail cell because the way is not shut. The way is just narrow. Now, I'll grant you that dragon, if you fly into those swords the way he's about to, and you don't slow down, yeah, you're going to cut your wings. That's going to hurt like hell. But if you recognize the fact of is that it's a narrowing, and I can actually slow down.
I gotta reconfigure my body to scooch through.
I can shim through here, fold up my wings, and I won't cut myself. Okay. It's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit of a work effort, and it's not going to be something it's not going to resolve overnight. But if you have people that are willing to actually communicate, listen to the other side, yeah, I think it's going to work out. But be patient.
This is definitely going to require a lot of patience on your part, which is not fun. The position that you're in is not fun. But if you want it to work out where the three of you can all cohabitate happily together, we got to have some long talks.
Yeah. We do. But overall, I think it's going to work out there. All right. Chelsea, You are the finale of the evening.
The finale for Chels. And I think she actually sent hers a while ago.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, let me just scroll up here.
And to all those people who signed up, I don't know what the hell happened to you.
They forgot. Oh, nope. Maybe she didn't.
32. Any deck that will give a glimpse into how I am going into 2024.
You should be coming back to New England for 2024. That's what you should be doing. You're welcome.
Actually, what's the rest of that thing saying? She wants 32. All right.
Yep. Pretty generally, but hoping my spirituality and self-love will keep growing because it has been tested these last 3 months with trial and error medications, trying to work on self. But you know, the cards give the messages we need, not what we ask. That is very true, especially for you.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Oh, yay for you being the medicine guinea pig. It's so fun, right? It's so fun to try to figure out which one will actually work. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Oh boy. Go for it. I am free. I am free. And freedom tastes of reality. Do you know what song I'm singing?
No, actually.
It's one of the songs from Tommy by The Who.
Oh, that would be why. I haven't ever actually seen that.
Oh, yeah. It's not one of the ones that makes there's a few, makes the big radio play, what basic songs. It's one of the sidebars, but it's
Chels. Yeah, absolutely. For PCOS and all other things, uterine. Yeah, it's very guinea pig. Will this work? How about this one? How about this one? I don't know if it will work for you. Everybody is different, but the Mirena IUD is the thing that finally worked for me. So, don't know how you feel about that, but if you get desperate, it worked really well for me and is still working really well.
I see new beginnings.
In New England?
Well, the thing is I am free, I'm moving on, and then we have the Ace of Swords, which is kind of like the coming back home, back in my original castle.
Hey, Chels.
With brand new things to do, mind you, but it's like,
You were born and bred New Englander. What you doing in the South?
Yeah, honestly, if we're going to make a bold prediction for you, Chels, for 2024, you're coming back to New England. And I don't mean just for a visit.
Although you should do that too.
Oh, you definitely should be doing that.
Because also, I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to say it in front of all the people watching so that maybe you'll actually do it. You haven't visited me at all since you moved to Georgia.
That was a good wine, by the way.
Thank you.
Do you want some cheese with that?
I would love more of that pesto Gouda. That was good. That was some good
Oh, we're
cheese.
saving it for Christmas, by the way.
Oh, there's more of the pesto Gouda.
Yes, there is.
Oh, there's more of the pesto Gouda.
It's in the freezer. We'll bring it out for Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So yes, we got the Page of Swords, the free flying dragon who's actually had a weight removed. We have the Ace of Wands. Ace is for new beginning, but you realize that that's an old dragon. That's Gandalf as a dragon there, back in his comfort zone, so to speak here, making his plans for what he wants to do now, but using all the old knowledge and all the old information. So yes, I look at that combination kind of going, okay, you're coming home. You're coming back to your comfort zone, and from there actually really kind of figuring out where you want to go from there. And then the last card, the upside down Six of Coins, excuse me. Six of Coins, where you are actually trying to rebalance your life. Rebalance your earth. You're holding the balance. You're holding the little Libra scales there.
I will say
in the woods.
I will say you have done good progress. Like it is very obvious for me in these three cards, and that you have been doing a lot of self work, especially when you think of like the past 6 months and what some of your previous readings have looked like on these live streams. You are definitely looking like, even if the actually coming home part does not happen in the calendar year of 2024, you are at least in a much healthier, happier, both physically, mentally, and mentally and emotionally, all that. Like, you've been doing some good work, and you're finally going to get to reap some benefits.
Yep. So yes, the whole feeling that you've been trapped, that's coming undone.
Yay! The trap is going to open.
She's come undone. That's the Guess Who.
Yes. Didn't know she was headed for.
Yes, that song.
But yeah, no, Chels, this is, comparatively speaking, a much better progression for you than some of the others we've seen.
Yes, I would definitely say that. Say it ain't so.
It ain't so.
Say it isn't so painful. I'm sorry, that's
right. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. Millennial songs.
Okay. Whatever.
But so, wow, this was the last live stream for the calendar year of 2023.
It actually was. How about that?
And what a lovely solstice reading it was.
It was a very good solstice reading. That's just,
oh God,
that's awful. I only can do so much with this nonsense.
So thank you all so much for coming out and getting readings and joining us, and thank you for sticking with us through all of our technical buffoonery.
Technical crapple, exactly. So yes, thank you again, and we'll be back next year.
Bum, bum, bum.
Which starts in 10 days, which is scary when you think about it, actually.
That's okay, though. 2023 didn't do me a lot of favors. It did me a few, but...
Well, I mean...
We're hoping that 2024 can compound.
Onward and upward.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best we can hope for at this point.
Indeed.
So, yes, for all those who would like to have a reading next month, to let us know, sign up, and then show up, please.
Or we'll just talk
We
to
had
ourselves.
7 no-shows tonight.
Did. We could just talk to ourselves the whole time.
Or basically the wait list, like tonight, the wait list becomes most of the show.
And the wait list was most of our regulars trying to be nice and let other people have readings. Thanks to y'all for being so nice.
Exactly. So we do wish you fantastic holiday seasons, whatever you wish to celebrate. And on that note, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.